Hello Pisces, we are here to do your read. Okay, I've pulled a crystal for the month of May. We're going to have a lot of retrogrades this month. I'm a psychic medium, for those of you that don't know, and sometimes the video appears long, but I do actually answer questions at the end. So this will be the last video for the day, and tomorrow I will start with the air signs. So come back again if you haven't, and sign up, come back. Love to have you. Okay, so let's get into the read. Now, I'm going to interpret some of the energies that are coming through in each house for you, and I'll do that both psychically and astrologically. And we've got the crystal, you've got clear quartz this month, so a lot of clarity. Crystallization, I'm seeing, having clear thoughts, really with the crown chakra. It will link in with your crown chakra. But it's also a need to, it's a removal of the ego, so to speak, and your perspective and perception on things. So, make sure that you can actually use amethyst as well, which will help you during this time. But definitely the fluid energy can actually help with that. I'm also feeling you guys to want a lot of clarity with things. And pertaining to your hopes and dreams, you really are linked in with hopes and dreams energy and Neptune energy. And there's some very interesting aspects being made. Now, generally, when you're looking at career sector and finances, you tend to want to look for your second, your 11th. Your second house is where you will make income from. And funny enough, yours actually does link in with Aries. So being in your second house, this is very much being able to network, what you directly have, the tools and assets, your spiritual energy. Definitely with Aries being in Chiron, you're going to be really looking at it from what other people need versus what you get. It's very, do you fit in that niche? Does this directly link in with you? And maybe some of you may want to branch out and actually start your own careers and do things to that degree. But many of the times with that placement, you may tend to find that you work in management roles and things to that degree. It can be a lot of paperwork and working in large industries, working in large corporations. Those things can be coming up for you. Now, at the moment, you also have the second house in Aries when it does come to your possessions. So there can be things that you're wanting to move around, change around, and have that are new. There can also be wounds linking into that, where in the past, if you had things and there were separations and things to that degree, they may have come and gone, and it might have been very testing on you at a spiritual level. You may also had to have been the main breadwinner, and definitely on the home front, there's a lot of changes happening there. There might be a lot more people coming towards your home or wanting to come towards your home. And I do feel moving through this transit, we're ending these old cycles and we're beginning new. You do have the 5th and the 7th house in Cancer and Virgo. So there may be themes of wanting to purge, wanting to clean up, wanting to change things around, wanting to have that interconnection, and potentially if you're missing energies, if they are at a distance to you, but really re-identifying with what the connection of family actually means. But it is a very spiritual time for you guys, and really seeing the clear thoughts about what your true value systems are. We do have a lot of Taurus energy currently moving into May, and then it kind of cycles out when the nodes are shifting, and we also will have Mercury in Gemini. Gemini for you guys, as I've mentioned in your Venus video. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and look at it. It's going to cover about 6 to 7 weeks because we've got shadow time either side. It's really helpful to actually see how that will directly impact your sign, and I have done it zodiac by zodiac. With your home environment, I am seeing shifting things around, cycling old energies out. Again, people from the past coming back and really choosing very selectively about who you give your energy to. I'm seeing this to be a very selective energy. I'm also seeing with your love life, there's a great deal of communication house coming in. But I am feeling even the way in which you're speaking about your hopes and dreams, the way you viewed it versus how you view it now, is going to be very different. You might be talking about your hopes and dreams and wanting to actually know if these individuals that you're assessing or are in love with or with have the same value systems and look at things the same way. But it is a lot of, be cautious, because at a psychological level, you may want to be very social at the moment. You might not want to be at home. You may wish people to come towards you and not have to do all the legwork all the time. And it can be a lot of hermit mode energy, because even in your love and romance house, you do have quite a lot of placements there that are linking in with home, communication, socialization. So it can be a busier time. Also, due to the fact of what's happening in the collective, you may find you may use technology quite a bit to link in with these individuals. But I'm seeing fine-tuning and transformation in that area for you guys. I do feel many of you, especially at home and in love, are wanting the prettier side of the picture. You're wanting the hope and dream. You're not wanting to settle for any second-best energy. But I do feel there's renovations or decorations and moving things around. It's almost like we're moving chi energy. With the retrogrades, you will find this is the best time to actually fine-tune things. You'll find the flaws in systems. You'll find false beliefs. You may just get to a point where you don't relate to something all of a sudden. And with your career sector, you're going to have Jupiter going retrograde, and it does fall in your 10th house, and your 10th house is your career sector. So again, great meditation, and do understand that you do have the tools to be able to move the situation forward. It's a slight delay. Nevertheless, it's going to benefit you, both at a spiritual and financial level. At a psychological level, your viewpoints and maybe potentially the industry you were working in may differ. So that may be a vibration, alignment energy, or in general, you may be moving into the psychic realm because you do have 12th house placement. But you've got to really love what you're doing, and you do need to have the energies around you directly appreciating what you give. And I do feel that to be quite important. Now, what you're not going to see is when Juno does go direct towards the end of May. It is occurring on the 26th, but I'm seeing potentially even a week before. The Pluto energy is going to be activated even further, because we do have the full moon in Scorpio, which links to Pluto. We've also got Juno going direct, which is in Libra, which again will link back to your Venus, your contracts. So the changes you're going to have can be very abrupt, very quick, but really cycling out. And definitely as the nodes change, you're going to find growth occurring in different areas. Let's have a look at your energy. One last placement. Oh, too many. How are we all in the house? Is the chat working? I feel you guys, you might be having a lot coming at you this month. A bit, it's funny, it's almost like as soon as you've thought of something or you're dealing with something, something else is coming towards you. So it does feel quite out of nowhere energy, quite taking you by surprise energy. You do have the animal totem card, Black Panther in reverse. Again, it's a very busy time, having to be very clear, needing to actually potentially even, I don't even think it's ego, I think it's more clarity, too much information coming towards you. Gemini nodes is very much a lot of communication, a lot of information. And when we have Pluto retrograde, it can be mother energy, grandmother energy. Jupiter definitely with the growth in that, a lot of assessment about where you're going. You're not quite sure what you're passionate about. And maybe because there's too many things that are great or too many things you want to do and not enough time. And you do have it in reverse. So the shadow energy of it, I'm feeling more it's too much information. No sooner do you deal with one thing, like I said, it's like somebody else is saying something else, and it does feel an overwhelmed energy of too many things to do and not enough hands. Yeah, I feel many of you are wanting to get out more, wanting to just walk away from maybe an argument that may have occurred in the past, or just the same old story. Whatever you've moved away from, you did plant a seed of intention, and I am seeing this seed of intention coming to fruition. It's It's very much linking in with your dreams, with your first house placement. It's something that's occurring in you. And I do have the Fool card here, which is a brand new beginning for you guys. And it is moving into, many of you, this is going to be in a relationship. There's going to be a new kind of vibration that comes through, or a new mindset. If you're not passionate in a connection, this can be a time where you actually have more clarity about why that is, and, what you want to do with that. But there is definitely a vibration of, hi Dal, of, wanting to have a really traditional relationship, wanting to take something to the next level, wanting to have a person in your life that is willing to be reciprocal in the energy, working with you in alignment. And even with the temperance energy, you're still tempering the way in which you're applying yourself. And you're not jumping in the deep end. You're understanding the method to the madness. The dream is the ethers and the thought. It's very Neptune energy. It's very Fool card energy, because there's infinite ways it can come about. But knowing exactly what would be required to make that dream come true, and the processes for it, this retrograde's really going to serve you guys really well. And that's a very overall energy, and I do feel it's covering a lot of energies. It's definitely linking with your career, your finance, adversity, and your connections. But there's some major plans you have up your sleeve. Try and keep in alignment, in a sense that if people are taking you off your path and you have these bright ideas, I do feel, again, this level up energy and these new beginnings, you'll know what to do and how to apply it. But it is boding quite well for those of you that have these theories under your belt. It will be hard work, but, the old saying, anything worth having is, you'll put your back into it, sort of thing. Let's see what's coming through for romance for Pisces. Even a leveled up energy. A king or queen in their own right. This can be an Aries for some of you. Others of you, I'm feeling it's more a person that is very goal orientated now. Doesn't have to be that they were, like that in the past. Some of them, they might be a Capricorn or a water sign. But the vibration I get is this person has really had a soul transformation. And they've had two major kind of transformations occur in their world. And they've very much learned a great deal, both about themselves and about, it's almost esoterical. It's the internal and external. Now, this injustice of the past, whatever occurred, some of you are tying out loose ends. Others of you at a spiritual level, I do feel a little bit of haunting energy. But again, it's making closure and peace with the past. And something that wasn't balanced is coming back to be resolved. And there is victory assured with this. This hermit energy and this clouded energy, I do feel mid-month there's potential that you may be, again, if you're unhappy with the connection and you have known for a great deal of time, I do feel this is really nailing it. It's where you gain your clarity and you're like, I'm just not feeling it. You thought maybe you were paranoid or something to that degree. For those of you who are on the fence with the situation, I feel you'll gain the clarity. And you'll also want to distance yourself from particular individuals. If you're tuning in psychically into a person, this can also be you sensing that's occurring. So whatever this hidden shadow energy is, again, between now and the Pisces moon, Scorpion moon, I'm sort of feeling these links. Now, Mars is also going to be entering into Pisces, your first house, on the 13th. Try and take it in your stride. Really look at the hopes and dreams of what you're fighting for. But this can also be, again, a very deeply transformative time for you guys. Very much, something from the past coming back, an old dream, especially with justice in reverse. And, no sooner were you walking away from a scenario or trying to recreate something, and you poured your energy into it. It does feel you have got your life back on track and there's a balanced foundation again. And then all these things that you just didn't think were coming back are really coming back. You might have had conflict with these people in the past, or this person may have been experiencing some sense of conflict. There has been a maturity here now. There can be triggers that come up during this time, But regardless, there is Ten of Cups energy coming for you. And I feel it's a very decisive energy. You don't want any dishwater situation. You don't want anything that is, you're crystal clear about your likes and dislikes. Oh, thanks, Dale. Yeah, so I got cold this morning, so I just, I've got my done time. I want to design one for Yildiz readings. Done time spiritually. I think we all have, haven't we? I just love it. I love that energy. You're not willing to, look, if you're having to put too much energy in, really assess, take your time with these things. The reason I'm feeling this is because for those of you that are separate and you're tuning into a particular individual, I'm feeling as though if you're aware of what they had in their life before, you're gauging it based on that, and they're not like that anymore. But I will pull a clarifier just to see, because this can be with the Nine of Pentacles where you're physically feeling that you need to change your finances, or that the give and take needs to be in balance regardless, and that's really what I'm feeling. Now, like I said, Neptune is retrograding. What dates do we have? We have June the 23rd, and it's going to be at 20 degrees Pisces, to November the 29th in Pisces. So some of these reflective energies are coming in, and it's really going to shake up and change the way you're doing things. You're trying to be your own best friend. You might also be helping a friend as well. But again, I'm feeling it's more, if you're waiting for this person to transform and they come back and they're saying, hey, let's be friends, really keep it at that level, because I feel they're healing. There's no rush, take your time with it, because you may be feeling quite overwhelmed by some of the things they've gone through, but whatever they've dealt with in their life, that be it you or them, there is this transformation. There has been kind of healing pertaining to hopes and dreams. Not necessarily did they get everything that they were wanting, or you got everything, but I do feel there's a recuperation energy here. Now, we do have Jupiter retrograde in Sagittarius. Now, depending on what their zodiac sign is, you'd need to look at their zodiac sign when I get them up. The growth in that, especially if it's a male energy or in your employment, keeping an eye on that house. And for you guys personally, it is your 10th house, and your 10th house does link in with your career. But it's also, to balance it, you've got to make sure you're on mission with that. So if you're not on mission with that, it will become problematic. I'm feeling as though this person, this energy who you're tuning into, so to speak, there is a change with that energy. But I'm feeling them to be very fatigued, and there's level up energy because they're ready for this connection. But again, it's funny because I was looking at memes this morning, and with the Two of Cups, it said, I'll have to read it to you. I'll put it in the community tab. It's quite funny. I sent it through to Mark. Where is it? What tarot readers wish to say to people. And I thought, gosh, that's funny. I never really looked at the Two of Cups this way. And the way they said it is, life's not TV. Which is true, because with the Neptune energy, it's very dream state. You get to a point, you reach a certain point. You get to know each other. You get to know your likes and dislikes. They might put toothpaste in the sink. You might not like it. Can be adverse situations, large adverse situations. So it's a method to the madness, and it's a process. And we know our ascension symptoms, so you're kind of humble to the point after you're going, okay, I've been here. Hugging the toilet bowl, hugging the floor, hugging myself, time. They're ready for this. Now, whatever energy they've cycled out, whoever this person is, be it a female or a male, there is a friend that's helping them. Now, it is very purely platonic. I do feel in a way there's also a healing very much linking in with mother energy for this individual. or a female energy in regard. But again, this female energy that is a friend, it could be a sister, it's not a partner energy. Oh, this is what's coming through. It does remind them, or they're helping them with this energy of what went down. But it feels mentor energy. However they're looking at it, I do feel what is cycling out and what they're moving into, it is very much they're looking at you and they know that, you know, whatever these changes are that need to occur, it's spiritual and mental. They have the purest of intentions. Now, for those of you in a coupledom, I'm also seeing imbalances coming up in the conversational piece, and I do feel your viewpoints may differ. Regardless, you do want the same goal, and there is movement, but there's some shadows that you do need to face, and there can be some conflict and adversity. Potentially even some of you, it might be linking in with children. Yeah, but there's definitely changes there. You've got a lot of fives coming up, which is definitely changes. Okay, at a spiritual level, I feel this can take a little, now when I say a little bit of time, I feel like the decision's already there. Coupled or not, the decision's there. There has been a lot of manipulation around them, and I do feel it's either linking with childhood issues or family. There is burdens here. There's burdens of some description. So the message I am getting is when they do come back, I do feel they're going to want to take it slow. Their intent, regardless, is to take it slow. It merely may be communication, or you guys in a coupledom could be talking regardless. But they're not wanting to make a false move and, you know, trying to really perfectify whatever is going on. Needing to slow down, needing to look at this because this can get back on track. Couple of single can get back on track, but some of you have really found, and that's only for the pocket of you that are on the fence and you completely know, it's just this is not what you want. And you're painting a picture, it's almost like you manifested it, and you got, say, you could be in a very toxic energy, right? And when you're sitting in that vibration, once you gain the closure and the clarity, very clear chords, you accidentally manifest the new of what your belief system is into your ether. And so when you experience a tower moment, you're kind of thinking you're being cursed, but you really haven't. You've legitimately manifested it because you've been thinking it, and then suddenly the energy is for you. So there is a new beginning here, whatever it be. So you do need to be very aware of what you're manifesting right now. And I am finding, potentially because Mars will be moving on the 13th into Pisces, will be a manifestation time. Yeah. Be careful what you place your energy into. When you're manifesting and you're thinking through your third eye, again, I did say clear the third eye, you accidentally can, you know, bring the darker energy in. Okay, are there any last messages for Pisces? I do feel there's healing happening though. Your outcome overall for the month will be quite successful. Don't overinvest. Take your time because we are moving through Venus retrograde. Don't hide from people either. It's not a time to hide. If energies come to the forefront or you feel divinely guided to do something, do such. But don't kind of lie to yourself. And I don't feel you guys are going to be able to. I do. You know, you've got the 8 of Swords and you've got the 7 of Swords. So you will sense if someone's manipulating you. It might be due to the fact that they're still healing. Or it may be that you're going to hear something about what has been going down and somebody may have been manipulating the individual you are in love with. And I feel it's more that. The message I'm getting is that you guys, if you've been tuning into the person and you feel they might be a victim or this is something that's coming up in you, There is escape. Escape is possible. You've got this twice. Escape is possible. It's very much psychological. It's very much, being stuck in your mind about something is when you're processing it. It's when you're tuning into it and trying to make sense of it. You've got clear quartz. So the clarity is going to come to you. You will have the freedom you desire, and you do have such great cards. You do. It's just moving through a process. Also, with attachment energy, for instance, if you're a soulmate or a twin flame, your fixation on the energy to a belief that this is a traditional 3D connection. It kind of is, but it's not, because you deal with it differently. I do feel at times you felt you ran in where angels fed to tread. Bit of angel devil energy going on. You're really taming yourself, and you're dropping the energy of elements of codependency, which we all have it in some shape and form. So spiritually, through this ascension, you're actually freeing yourself. But while you're tuning into their energy of what they need to do, how they would do it, you're actually working on their energy, and it does relate to you. So you're better off to pull the energy back. This is part of an ascension process. So 10 of Swords and, fatigue, purging, it's part of an ascension process. They do move into this energy. You do have positive energies coming through, new beginnings, temperance energy, but the warning I am feeling is temper yourself. Don't jump in the deep end, because there are some things in a karmic sense this person's cycling out, and you don't want it to get messy. You want the best possible outcome. So use your Pisces energy to decipher, a bit like Morse code, and I do feel it'll bode best. Any questions before I love and leave you? And I will be back again tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, which is your time tomorrow, for those of you on the other side of the world, because I'm in Perth, Western Australia. Thank you, YouTube. We couldn't connect without them. He's got a lot of untangle. Yeah, you'll be quite surprised, though, how quick masculine energies can actually achieve that. Trust me, I'm gobsmacked. That ascension process put me to shame. That's why I do feel the interconnection of it is real attachment energy. It's like you need to let people heal on their own. But, the empath energy is the person okay? How are they doing? Yeah, just pull the energy back, because there's several cards there, plus the dynamic that they are pure of intent, but again, very psychic attack energy and messy. So it's not that you can avoid that. If that's meant to be, it's meant to be. But if you do need to, how do I place it? Gauge it, because we are in a Venus retrograde and it's there for our benefit. So when you're looking at it, if you can see they're needing a support system, it's a bit like being, psychologists, there's a code of ethics. You wouldn't date a patient, right? And again, I'm not a medical advisor. It's an analogy. So if you see that in a relationship, you are taking that stance and needing to be that healer, it's a bit like a person who's recovering. If they can look after a plant, they're ready for a connection, because the self-care, the being able to care for another energy and be present, we've got to assess things at that level. So there is accountability on our side as well as energies on other sides. And it's just looking at that. And the temperance coming through is July. It's not saying movement's not happening. It's saying movement is going to happen, and movement is, the outcome's very positive. Just watch for the information to come through, because there's things that are hidden that are coming to the forefront where if you jump in too soon, it can look messy. Yeah, well, there you go. But it's, manipulation to the degree, because tapping into the psyche, definitely. And that's what was coming through. That's why which may have benefited him, but actually now, it's a bit like a mechanic. You date a mechanic, the car's never fixed it. And I'm not being judgmental. It's an analogy. There are mechanics that do beautiful jobs at their cars. Just because you major in a field, it's always when it's fit towards yourself, it helps you understand yourself. But, they generally do get help outside themselves, which is, as spiritual advisors, even I do that, so that you can have the ego removed. So you can also look at it and you're doing the self-healing, but also gain other energies perspective, just in case you missed anything. So I do feel there's some slight cracks there, and yeah. But it's definitely moving. But there's manipulation energy around, and this person has had their ascension process, gained their clarity. Jupiter energy definitely is linking in with that for us collectively, both with masculine energies and in the career sector. And towards the end of the month, feminine energies, regardless of zodiac, may feel a bit more in their ascended state. And that's because Juno will be going direct. Yeah, but sometimes that's an energy that they gave permission to. So sometimes it's like, yes, we move into victim consciousness. This is all I'm entitled to, so I'm going to go do this. And then you live in that vibration and you get angry at yourself. You're like, oh, because you're giving permission, even us, we give people permission to do what they do. It's a bit like constantly doing overtime for a boss, and you don't get paid for it. And the boss goes, oh, it will never happen again. It'll never happen again. It happens. And you're thinking, my pay hasn't gone up, but I'm doing all these extra things. It's what you're giving. The expectation is there, but then your ego is telling you, oh, I'll have to do it forever now. No, you're giving that food energy. You're feeding it. So it's not a bad thing. Because he's giving his power away. So to embody that and live it, some of these friends may vibrationally not need to be with him any longer. Some of them may be, because especially during Venus retrograde, there will be a lot of changes, a lot of value system changes. Anyway, if there's a reading you guys would like and you want me to psychically tune in, I do believe on the previous video I did a tuning in for a few individuals. Go and have a look at the end of the video. You can see how I work. Otherwise, I will come to you guys later and I will do the rest of the zodiac signs. Love and light.